What is up, FPG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Tower Fantasy video. Now we have global releasing here within the next couple of hours, and I know some people are wondering what are some great teams that they can put together at launch. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the top teams that you can probably put together after you do your guaranteed 30 pity, your 80 pity, and then you use your SSR selector, so you have your 3 SSRs ready to go. Hopefully this video helps you to decide what type of team you want to put together based on who you get, and hopefully it's comprehensive and easy for you to understand, right? So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. Now before we do, a massive shout out to the Ida Cafe on Discord. I'm going to leave a link to their Discord down in the description below. I implore you, go ahead and join their Discord, show them some support. They have some great information over there. And another massive shout out to tof.gg. I'm going to leave a link to their website down in the description below. They did such a great job with this website, getting all of this information together. I implore you, go ahead and check them out, show them some support, as they have some great information for you here as well. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. What we're going to talk about is some DPS teams, defense teams, and then some support teams. I want to give you guys a few different options because I know not everybody's going to get the characters that are going to be within here. And also keep in mind that these are just some recommendations. Obviously there are more teams out there that you can slot in or use. This is just recommendation for you to go off of, right? So let's go ahead and start with the DPS teams. And this is actually a team that I mentioned before that I think is going to be really strong out the gate on global launch, and that is the team consisting of Samir, Nemesis, and King. Now the reason why this team is going to be so strong is because you have Samir as the main DPS, doesn't need a whole lot of investments in terms of advancements to be strong. You have Nemesis, who's going to be like the main driver of this team with the passive healing, the off-field DPS, being able to do some decent damage herself, and being able to buff or support the Volt type or electric type, which is directly going to help Samir do even more damage. And then you have King, which you can do either King or Meryl. I think it's a preference, but if you want like a real pure DPS team, King might be the better option. And the reason being is because I believe King can do a little more damage than Meryl, at least in the beginning, before you start getting copies or advancements. Also, King is a great shield breaker. So King in this team is just overall a great character or simulacra to have here. Now the way you would probably use this team initially is to use King first to go ahead and break the shield. Obviously you can have Nemesis skill out, switch over to Samir once that shield is down, and then let Samir just do a bunch of damage, right? Great DPS team. I absolutely love this one. Now of course for Samir you can swap out and use Crow if you prefer Crow, or if you get Crow. So just two different options. So instead of Samir you can use Crow, instead of King you can use Meryl, just whatever you prefer, right? So the next DPS team that I did want to go ahead and talk about is consisting of Tsubasa, Nemesis, and King. Once again, you could switch King out for Meryl if you want to, but Tsubasa is here because Tsubasa is a really good damage dealer that has a pretty cool stacking mechanic, so you're going to get some benefits there. We talked about what Nemesis is going to be bringing to the table, and then once again King for the shield breaking, or Meryl if you prefer Meryl for the shield breaking as well. So a really cool team here. I do like that they're all three of different elements, so that way you can use one or the other if there's some type of resistance going on. So really good team here that I think is going to be beneficial if you're looking for a DPS team. So the next pair of teams that we're going to talk about is the defense teams that you can put together, and this is just if you prefer to be a more tanky player. That's just more your gameplay style. Now the first one we're going to talk about consisting of Huma, Meryl, and King. Now this team is going to be extremely tanky, so obviously you have King and Meryl here for the shield break, but Meryl specifically because Meryl is a little more tanky on the tankier side, where King is more of that DPS shield breaker. Meryl's more of that tanky shield breaker, but can do some pretty good damage herself. And then you have Huma here, where you'll probably, once you have the shield down, switch into Huma and then go ahead and use the axe form of her weapon and be able to do the damage that you're looking for. And once again, all three of these characters can do some pretty good damage, so it's not like you're really gonna have to choose a main DPS on this team. It's really to make sure that you're not taking any damage and you're dishing it out yourself, and you're using skills and switching between them. So I really like this team. It's going to be a tanky team. Now moving over to the next tank team, and it's just going to be a variant of what we spoke about beforehand, but this one's going to consist of Huma once again, Nemesis, and then Meryl. So Meryl because of the tankiness and that shield break, Nemesis for the passive healing, and the off-field DPS, and then we have Huma once again for the tank and to be able to switch into doing damage. So this team is really good as well. I don't believe this team is going to be as tanky as the first one because you have Meryl and King, but nonetheless you're gonna have that passive healing, so it might keep you topped up longer, might be more beneficial. Once again, just depending on your gameplay style. With this team, you can actually stand a little farther back, have some more distance with Nemesis when you have her out, and you get that off-field DPS. So this one, you might be able to do a little more damage, have the passive healing, have some distance with your range weapon here with Nemesis, and then you can switch into Huma or Meryl and then get up close, right? Really good team. I like this one as well. Now, the last batch of teams we're going to talk about is the support team. So we have the support team. The first one we're going to speak about is consisting of Samir, Nemesis, and Zero. Now, Zero's really good because of the healing, can do some decent damage himself, so he brings some utility. Of course, we have Nemesis, once again, we talked about her, and then Samir for the damage, right? The only problem about the support teams is that they don't really consist of a shield breaker. So I think the main problem that you're going to run into is that if you're fighting enemies with shields or world bosses, it's going to be a long fight. Let's put it that way. It's going to be a very long fight. You're not necessarily going to die because you have the healing going on, but you need to get that shield off first, and that's probably what's going to take the longest. But once you get that shield off, you switch into Samir, you'd be able to do some really good damage. So next support team is consisting of Shiro, Zero, and then Coco Ritter. Now Coco Ritter, of course, being arguably the best healer in the game, if not the best healer in the game. Zero has some healing for you as well, and then Shiro is really cool because Shiro can do some decent damage herself, does some decent shield breaking, and then when you get some advancements can proc a lot of stuns and things of that nature. So I really like Shiro. The only thing is that Shiro's kind of one-dimensional in terms of her attacks. It's just like kind of straightforward, but she does have a bit of AoE within her attacks, especially with the skill. So I like Shiro and what she brings to the table, and then Coco Ritter just keeping you healed up the whole time, right? So another support team, really like this team as well. But those are basically the top teams that you can use at the beginning of the game at global launch. I think the DPS teams are just going to be far and away the best options for you because you just have a little bit of everything, you know, with the healing, the DPS, and the shield breaking. But at the end of the day, it's really just up to you and your gameplay style, what you prefer and what you want to do and how you want to build your account. But anyways, guys, I do appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully this video helped. You guys have a great day. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody, but you can call me further. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.